Welcome to the first episode of Shots on Target with your host, Brad Betts. Absolutely pumped to get things rolling off. We've got 6 games that we're looking to cover today, one by one, and we're going to dive straight into that. And as things go on, shoot me a message, add a comment, and we can stop if we need to update or talk about a few things. And then at the very end, you're going to get a best bet. And then we're also going to have plenty of time to come in live, have some good discussion. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Well, our first match here is in Finland, and that's coming up at 11 a.m. So here in less than an hour now. SJK come in scoring in 25 of their last 28 matches, and that's 2+ in 7 straight at home. They've conceded in 17 of their last 10, and they've hit over 2.5 goals in 13 of their last 14 matches. They're taking on a Nisjan squad, which is Gnistan for anybody following, who's scored in 31 of their last 39 matches, and they've conceded in 18 of their last 21. They've hit over 2.5 goals in 8 of their last 9 matches coming into it. However, with this match, it does look like that we should get some goals from SJK. And it kind of looks like that we maybe should expect goals from Nisjan, but we don't necessarily know if it's going to come on their attacking end or in the defensive end. It looks like the over 2.5 should come in, but when we really dive into the numbers in Finland right now, I don't really like what I'm seeing. In Finland, the BTTS has only hit in 2 of the last 10 matches, so 12 matches only twice. And then over 2.5 has only come in 8 of the last 6. If you remember, Finland at the beginning of the season was one of those leagues that we were really diving into because we were hitting these numbers regularly. Well, since then, it's trailed off just a little bit. So while I wanted to highlight this match because I do expect to see goals, it's not going to be one of my best bets for the day, but I do expect that there could be some goals in this match. So pay attention to it live, especially in the live market, given what those lines are pre-match. And we might be able to find an opportunity, maybe an over 1.5 on the team total for the home team or an over 1.5 live, maybe even a first half goal. I expect goals, but I don't have a clear indication of what happens, so it's not going to be a best bet of mine today. The second match on the slate, 11:30, we're jumping straight into Italy, Cagliari and Como. Cagliari are a very fun team if you have watched Italian Serie A in the last couple seasons. Cagliari have scored in 17 of their last 20 matches, and they've conceded in 22 of their last 26. They've had both teams to score in 9 of the last 10 matches at home, and they only had 2 clean sheets in all of their matches last year in Serie A. They're taking on a Como squad, a newly promoted Como squad, which is very important to notate when you're placing bets on goals scored and goals against, because a new team, there could be some variance to start the season. However, with Como, new manager, they look pretty, I'd say pretty informed to start the year. They've scored in 17 of their last 20 matches, and they've conceded in 15 of their last 18. But in the matchup history is really what we like best with this matchup specifically. So if you're looking to target goals in this match, you really look to target on the both teams to score line with Cagliari. Given how much they hit it at home, how rare they find a clean sheet, especially at home, and how often they score at home. But between these two squads, in the last 6 matches that they played one another, both teams to score came in 5 of those 6. So I kind of expect both teams to be able to find the net today, but I'm not necessarily sure how many goals we will see. Third match on the slate, we're jumping into that. We can jump around, but we're going to stay in Italy just for congruency's sake. And at 1:45, we have a match between Juve and Hellas Verona. Verona, home team, Juve, away team. Verona come in, scoring in 18 of their last 19 matches, and they've conceded in 22 of their last 25. They're taking on a Juve squad, Juventus, who scored in 33 of their last 41, regular production from one of the top teams in the league. But when you look at their matchup history, yes, they have scored in all 9 away matches versus Verona, but they've conceded in 11 of their last 13 league matches, and both teams to score has come in 9 of the 10 matches in which Verona has faced Juventus at home. So if you're looking for a look, yeah, Juventus does like to score a lot of goals. Verona does hit the over with some regularity lately, but with that, with what we're seeing here from Verona, especially at home and against Juventus, who they've been able to find some success, I expect both teams to be able to score, but I also expect Juve to probably get a result. I don't really trust Juve this early into the season. I haven't seen enough congruency. Tim Weah just went down, got hurt. So I don't necessarily know what Juve we should see today, but with the regularity of the goals scored market, you could probably expect to see both teams score. Next match, we have Sweden and Mjällby, and that's coming up at noon. Sweden, it's Norrköping in the Swedish league versus Mjällby. Norrköping scored in 24 of their last 27 matches, and they've conceded in 30 of their last 34 overall. That's just regular production. Mjällby scored in 31 of their last 33 matches, and they've conceded in 12 straight and 18 of their last 19. And in the matchup history, not only are we seeing scoring on both ends in recent fixtures between other teams, but in this fixture, in 8 of the last 12, we've seen both teams to score, and it went as follows: 2 that didn't, 4 straight that did, another 2 that didn't, and another 4 straight that did. So it's regular production. I see with how Sweden is performing as well, in the last 16 matches, in just Sweden, Allsvenskan, they've hit both teams to score in 13 of their last 16, and they've hit over 2.5 goals in 11 of their last 17. So it's regular production, the goals are flying in, and it looks on paper that both teams should be able to find the net. I remember that line. I believe it was hovering around 140 to 150, depending on which book you were taking. That's a really interesting look. However, let's get to the main attraction. That's my favorite best bet play of the day. We are headed to the afternoon matchup in Spain. Villarreal are taking on Celta Vigo. Villarreal come in scoring in 17 of their last 20 matches, and that's 22 of their 25 at home. They've conceded in 29 of their last 34 coming into it. They've hit both teams to score in 19 of their last 24 matches. They're taking on a Celta Vigo squad who scored in 27 of their last 32, and they've conceded in 20 of their last 24. Celta Vigo have hit both teams to score in 9 of their last 10 matches coming into this. Villarreal hit both teams to score in 30 of their 38 matches last season. Both teams to score looks like a great look. And then you take it a step further. So we want to look at how does Villarreal face Celta Vigo when they match up one another? Home, away, all the above. Well, in 6 of the last 7 matches that Villarreal and Celta Vigo have played, both teams to score has come in. In 6 of the last 7 matches in which Celta Vigo has played Villarreal away from home, both teams to score has hit. So for my favorite best bet of today, I like Villarreal and Celta Vigo on the both teams to score, and I got that at minus 145. So let me know if that is a look that you were looking at, or if you have any questions. I'm going to jump here into the chat and take a look really quickly to see if we have any questions. Before we wrap up shop, I see a couple people in here. Thanks, Chris Floyd, for being here always. Brad Morris, my guy. Sean Ritchie. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for coming to support. Really appreciate it on our first match, or our first scheduled stream. Russell Johnson, you're the boss. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for all of your support. We're going to come in here every single day, Monday through Friday, and we're going to highlight a plethora of these awesome matchups that I think that you guys are going to be interested in. I'm not necessarily going to always give you a best bet, because what I really want to do is I want to be hyper-focused on the goal scoring market, educate you, let you know what is happening, give you the trends, so you can then take this information and apply it to your betting strategy today and moving forward. Again, thanks so much for coming to today's first episode of Shots on Target. Before we jump into Alyssa, great question. Celta Vigo, they did, both teams played recently. I don't expect any squad rotation, none at all. Beginning of the season, they had all off season to rest. I don't see any injuries. Right now, Celta Vigo has a really quality attacking unit with a long-standing man, Iago Aspas, who is just flying thus far in the season. Celta Vigo is just so much better when he is on the field, playing, creating offense. If he's not there this afternoon, the line's going to drop significantly. But I don't expect him to be missing this match. Isaac, appreciate you coming in. Once again, I appreciate every single person dropping in here for today's stream. I know we're not going to get a lot of people, but what we are going to do is put a lot of information out there. And before we roll up shop, head to tomorrow, head into the slate, first match in 48 minutes, I want to give one message here. I didn't have that great of a weekend. I think I was 4-5, 5-6. It's been some variance central over the last week and a half. And that's going to happen with the way teams perform at the beginning of the season. There's going to be rust. Crystal Palace hit the net or hit the frame 3 times. We had some easy missed opportunities. Cincinnati looked just brutal against a Miami team who was giving them chance after chance and down to 10 men. Sometimes that's going to happen. But what we can do is we can control the controllables. Dr. Ajit Korgakar, he's one of my first coaches that I had, but one of the most that I'd say left a message on me. And it's not about the result of the situation. It's about taking care of what you can control. The things in front of you that you have control over are what are going to make and break the situations in your life. So yeah, VAR is going to take some goals away. Yes, you're going to see some red cards. But most importantly, you can always make the smartest bet, the one that has the most statistics, the one that is the most comfortable to you. You can always come in and make the smartest play, and you can be the control of your outcome. Thanks so much for coming today. We'll be back tomorrow. Let me know if you have any comments. DM me on my X account at Bradley L. Jacobs. Again, today's episode of Shots on Target. Back tomorrow.